October 12, 1942. Lyon, Vichy France. Morning settles into the city like a held breath. The rain carries a pale reflection of gray skies, and the streets smell faintly of coal smoke and damp stone. In the Croix-Rousse district, behind a narrow storefront window fogged by steam, a tailoring shop wakes to its routine. Sewing machines hum. Scissors whisper. An iron exhales heat into the room. At the center table stands a woman with chalk on her fingers and pins between her lips. She measures a hem with practiced precision, her tape snug against expensive wool. The customer and officer's wife stands rigid, gloved hands clasped, eyes drifting toward the door, as if danger might enter without knocking. The seamstress does not look up. Her posture is careful. Her movements economical. Nothing about her suggests urgency or rebellion. She is trusted because she appears exactly as expected. Too quiet to question. Too ordinary to suspect. In a city watched by uniforms and informants, she is invisible. That invisibility is her protection. Outside, Lyon tightens under occupation. Checkpoints bloom at intersections. Posters announce new restrictions with bureaucratic calm. Trains leave on time. They always leave on time. And in the tailoring shop, bolts of silk arrive daily: emerald, ivory, midnight blue, carried through German inspections without pause. Fabric is not dangerous. Dresses are not weapons. That is the enemy's first mistake. The seamstress accepts deliveries with a nod, signs her name in neat cursive, and stores the rolls against the wall. Inside some of them, hidden between layers of pattern paper and lining, are things that do not belong to fashion. Thin blue lines. Measurements that do not fit bodies. Angles meant for steel and stone. Blueprints. They arrive disguised as dress patterns, folded and refolded until they appear harmless. Bridges sketched as bodices. Rail yards mapped as pleats. Factories reduced to seam allowances. She does not rush to open them. She waits. Timing matters. By day, she measures waists and shoulders. She listens. German engineers talk when they believe no one understands them. They speak of load tolerances, of spans and supports, of how a bridge fails if pressure comes from the wrong direction. They complain about materials, about delays, about shortcuts taken to meet quotas. The seamstress pins hems and commits every word to memory. She was never trained for this. No manuals. No radio codes. Just attention. They were fighting a war of guns and radios, of tanks and airfields. And yet, the blind spot was a woman with chalk-dusted hands. The discovery comes slowly. Not as a decision, but as an accumulation. A realization that what she hears and what she carries could alter outcomes. That the architecture of fear depends on people doing their parts without seeing the whole. She sees the whole. At night, she walks home under curfew, fabric scraps tucked beneath her arm. The city is muted then. Footsteps echo too loudly. Windows glow briefly, then go dark. She climbs the stairs to her apartment and lays the patterns on the table, smoothing them flat. In lamplight, the drawings emerge clearly. She traces a bridge with her finger. Imagines its weight. Imagines the silence if it were gone. Fear has weight too. She feels it settle in her chest. If caught, there will be no trial. No misunderstanding. Just disappearance. But the greater fear, the one that keeps her awake, is knowing and doing nothing. May 3rd, 1943. Nightfall. Lyon. After curfew, the city changes character. Sound carries farther. A cough feels like betrayal. Beneath a shuttered shop, in a cellar that smells of damp earth and candle wax, faces gather that never meet in daylight. She arrives last. Always last. Her coat is plain. Her hair pinned tightly back. When she opens her bag, there are no weapons inside. Only folded paper. Carbon copies. Altered schedules. Margins annotated from memory. She spreads them across a crate and begins to explain with speeches. With specifics. Which guards rotate late on Tuesdays? Which convoy relies on one overworked engineer? Which office stamps everything after dusk without reading? Bureaucracy has habits. Habits can be exploited. The resistance listens because what she brings cannot be guessed. It must be known. This is not courage born of recklessness. It is precision born of necessity. She has turned paperwork into weapons. The first successes are quiet. A truck breaks down at the wrong moment. A patrol arrives too late. A transport leaves half full. No alarms, no heroes. Just absence where certainty once stood. The occupiers search for saboteurs with explosives, for men with guns in the shadows. They do not search the tailoring shop. They do not suspect the woman behind the tape measure. That blindness is her shield. Each delivery compounds the risk. If a single dress is searched too carefully, the entire network unravels. She knows this. There is a night when the weight nearly crushes her. She stands alone in her apartment, papers spread across the table, stove lit, one match away from erasing everything. She knows how to destroy records. The system taught her that. She could disappear into safety, into silence. Instead, she remembers the faces she has never seen. The trains delayed. The bridges spared for one more day. She remembers that delay is sometimes the difference between life and history. She extinguishes the flame. The raids continue. Quietly. Effectively. By December, German command grows uneasy. Nothing is provably wrong. And yet nothing proceeds as planned. Efficiency phrase. Doubt enters the machinery. She sends one final packet clear, undramatic, unavoidable, and then she waits. September 1944. France is freeing itself. Paris erupts in sound. Bells, shouts, footsteps without fear. In Lyon, offices empty as quickly as they once filled. Files are burned. Desks abandoned. The building by the river loses its purpose overnight. She walks past her shop without stopping. The bridges fall. The factories stall. The blueprints, now useless, are destroyed before liberation parades begin. Fighters are named. Commanders photographed. Stories form that are clean and heroic and easy to tell. There is no place in them for seamstresses. She closes her shop quietly. No medals, no citations. Her role undocumented. The courage that depended on invisibility remains invisible. Years pass. The city rebuilds. Children cross bridges that almost vanished. Plaques mark destruction, not prevention. No one commemorates the train that never left. She does not correct the record. Silence, after all, is a skill she learned well. History prefers visible courage. But some victories leave no ruins, no graves, no proof they were ever close. Wars are not only won on battlefields. Sometimes they are won at desks with needles and thread. By those who master ordinary work so completely that no one ever thinks to thank them. Lyon lives on. And that, in the end, is the only testimony she ever needed.